Hey y'all, it's Natalie, and it is time for my last layout as a guest designer for Wow Embossing. I'm doing the 6x8 layout of my little guy eating chocolate pancakes. I'm going to use this awesome hexagon stamp, some red fab foil, and then this trio by Gwen LaFleur. It's got pomegranate, Chinese lantern, and silk brocade are the three colors. It's like red, orange, and purple, and they have these lovely like different variations and tones. Now, my Meek machine is on the fritz, but I have figured out that you can use a solid hot foiling plate with your glimmer or other hot foil system with the fab foil sheets and then the foil that goes on top. You just let it sit there, and then you run it through your Sizzix or your die cut machine, and it adheres to the sheet, the cardstock sheet. So it worked perfectly. I'm going to use that to die cut that die that matches the hexagon stamp. First, I'm going to do the stamping though. So I have a 6x8 piece of cardstock, and I'm just going to use my stamp press because I don't have a block big enough for that stamp. So that's why I'm using stamp press, but I only stamp it once in each area at least. So I kind of didn't ink up the entire thing because I do want it to look a little, I don't know, like distressed in the background. And then I moved it so that I can kind of like have it go across the page, although I do not want it going off of the edge of the page. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. So I inked that up with my Wow Embossing ink pad. And now I'm going to use the Chinese lantern and the pomegranate colors. And I'm just going to like kind of put them in different sections so they kind of run into each other and almost like a nice ombre look here. So that one is Chinese lantern. It's like a nice burnt orange color. And then this one is going to be pomegranate. And that second stamp was a little more distressed looking than the first round of it. It's because I didn't clean it or anything, but it's fine because I did want a distressed look, and I'm just using my paintbrush to knock it off around the edges and the areas that I'm not interested in having the stamping, and it comes off very nicely, and it will dry and then nothing will stick to it. So now I'm going to use my Wow Embossing heat gun. I almost always use the high setting, and it's going to cure this lovely powder and have like a really just nice shiny effect. It isn't like a sparkly one. It's not a glittery one, but it is like, just like I said, like a tonal variation in the colors. Like it's like a bunch of different little colors put together, and it's really pretty. So there is the background, and now I'm going to run this foiled sheet through my die cut machine, and I get these two smaller versions of kind of the similar stamp, and I think that's what I'm going to make it look like, but it ends up kind of changing. But and next I'm going to work on the title. So he's eating chocolate and he loves chocolate, so my title is going to be Shimmy Shimmy Cocoa Wet. It's from a song, and it was just like a funny t-shirt that I saw, and that's where I get a lot of my title ideas. So I'm going to heat emboss the silk brocade color, which is this lovely eggplant purple color, on a full sheet of cardstock. And I chose this color to go with this photo because it's the same color of the shirt that he's wearing in the photo. So I thought it'd be fun to use that as the title colors. So I'm just going to heat emboss the whole sheet, and then I'm going to let it cool off and run it through my die cut machine with these alphas that I have that are kind of bigger, a little bit scripty. And I'm going to cut out the word cocoa, just making sure that I didn't miss any spots of powder. And you can see it is another one of those that like it's color variations, a few different purple colors in there. So there we have it. I'm not really a huge fan of the C in this collection, so I will trim the C down a little bit to make it look a little more like a C and a little less like a E, in my opinion anyway. I think those are from Momentum. And then I was trying to figure out how I wanted to cut the rest of the title, and I decided that if I had enough space, I would use the foiled sheet that I had already cut out of. And so I have this like magnetic cutting board over here. So I was just putting the alphas down to like ensure that I had enough space to cut enough. So I do decide to cut the rest of my title with the same shiny red foil that I cut the other die cuts out of. So I'm showing you here, if you do have a glimmer and you have this little magnetic pickup tool, it also works for picking up dies. So it was a really quick way for me to clean up the rest of those alpha dies that I had gone through to get the correct letters out of. So here I go, I'm trimming my C down, and I'm going to place kind of place all the letters around where I plan for them to go to ensure that they all fit on the page where I want them to go before I start actually adhering anything down and placing anything. And I do, again, change up kind of what's going on, because I didn't really want the alphas to touch the red foil hexagons that I cut out. So I'm going to move those to where they just kind of come in onto the sides of the pages a few times. So I backed the photos with white cardstock, and I'm going to kind of overlap them together in the middle of the page and start building all the title and embellishing around it. And it's a 6x8 page, so there's not going to be a ton of embellishing. I did want to add in a little bit of splatter that looked like maybe somebody spilled some chocolate. I picked this one color and it was almost a little too orangey, so I actually go back and find like a more of a brown color. In the end, it doesn't matter because I kind of rolled them up and they just look like somebody splattered hot chocolate on the page. So that's kind of exactly the look I was going for here, because he has chocolate all over his face. It's cute. So that is fun. Let's see, going back and placing all the alphas back on. I won't make you watch it. And there you can see, I'm just making sure they all fit. And then I decide to just kind of creep in with the die cut around like the edges a little bit in 3 different spots. A rule of 3 is always nice, visually pleasing. And so that way, and I did make sure that they were facing the same direction that I stamped the background image in, so that they officially matched. So I'll take this chance to let you know that I will put the link down below to Wow Embossing store if you would like to pick up any of these products. They are in the store. And check me out on their blog as well. I'll link down below. I've adhered everything down, and I don't really have much more to do. I have pulled out this little die cut of a cocoa cup, and then I'm going to add a little bit of journaling down here. I used a brown marker or Sharpie marker to mimic chocolate. I actually used that marker to go around the words, the cocoa word, to make them pop out of the page more, and you can see that in these final shots coming up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the links down below and visit over at Wow Embossing, because you can get all that amazing stuff in the store and more. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye, y'all.